Hi guys, my name is Jennifer Carey. I'm with Riyalto and I'm super excited. I've been waiting for this interview or testimonial, whatever we're doing here with Acid Queen, with both Alex and Joe for like so long. I'm so excited to talk to both of you guys, and we'll get into why. But hi, welcome. I'm so happy to have you.
How's it going?
Thank you for having us.
I just love it. I think I have this like total affinity towards you guys because you're a husband and wife team, and I just recognize it, because I was too with my husband, and so there's not a lot of husband. I get it all, like what y'all do. It's a pretty crazy dynamic, that's for sure. So I feel like a kindred spirit with you guys because of that. But I love working with Alex and Joe, and I can't wait to let you guys hear about their story and their jewelry. So if you just want to give us a little bit of background and how you got to be, how you started your business and got into the jewelry industry.
Yeah, so I've always loved jewelry and I've always collected it. And I tell this story all the time, but basically at a certain point, like all my friends, Joe and I come from like the punk and heavy metal scene, and that's how we know each other. And all my friends were in bands, including him. Every single person had this thing that they had to offer to the world and in a creative way. And I never really had that, but I've always been really artistic. And when I was working in marketing and web sales for a international wholesale and retail brand called Lip Service. That's like, they were the first people who made these like leggings for Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses. And like, it's like a very, they have a lot of history in the kind of subculture that we come from. And so it always had been my dream to like work for this company, because I have a background in marketing, fashion marketing in particular. And so I started working for them, and I saw this girl and she ran a jewelry company, and I asked her, I was like, so you may like make this jewelry and you sell it and like blah, blah, blah. And, I was like, that's really interesting. And so I started putting pieces together, and that's when we started dating. And I was just basically creating found object jewelry. I moved across the country 6 months after we got together, and Joe was opening a record store. And so I was like, this is the perfect place to sell my jewelry that I make. And so it started basically from there. And then we started doing like music festivals and all of these different things with our record store. But all the while I was building my jewelry company, and I started taking metalsmithing classes at the Baltimore Jewelry Center, which is where Joe's from, Baltimore. And it just kind of stemmed from there. I learned metalsmithing, I learned how to set stones, and I kind of was determined to make this something. And that was like 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so then we moved back to LA, and I was still doing jewelry. We decided to close the record store because it was like a total labor of love. I mean, more labor than, well, lots of love, but it was a lot of work and we didn't make a ton of money from it. So we moved back to LA, and, we devised a plan of like what we were going to do. And I actually remember that I found Flourish and Thrive because it was still my part-time job was the jewelry, and I was working for other people as an assistant, like personal assistant position, and like kind of helping them run their businesses online. And I told Joe, I was like, listen, I want to give this a chance, and I want to see what happens and see if I can make it my job. And I did. And then in 2020, Joe came in, and he has a background in carpentry, which I'm sure he can tell you about. But basically it translates very well to jewelry. And so since 2020, we've been doing this together as both of our full-time job. It's something that I love business and I love marketing and branding, but I also love making jewelry. So it's like the perfect position for me to be in because I get a lot of everything. I was going to say a little bit, but it's a lot. And so yeah, we've been working together to build this and to create a sustainable life for ourselves and for our future, and really just leaning into playing to our talents and what we're best at.
That's such a, I love that story. It's